Sophia Soto with the Nerds of Color. Such a pleasure to speak with you and huge congrats on the series.
Thank you very much, Sophia. Thank you.
First off, the man has this intriguing and intense journey of self discovery throughout the series. So I was curious, what did you enjoy most about portraying this? And was there anything that specifically challenged you with the story?
I think just that journey of self discovery. I feel like when I read these scripts, I felt like an audience member. Like you often do, but like I was like, there's so much going on here. There's so much being revealed, and it's so complex and dark, but also funny and exciting. And I just fully went on that journey, and there's so much to grab a hold of. I felt like, and um, to play a character that isn't just always in the same kind of um, place. He's never settled. He's constantly in a state of flux, and I've never done it. There's no easy days. Like it was just
Mm.
challenging day after challenging day after challenging day. And but I love a challenge, so it was very exciting to me for that reason, and it was just unlike anything I'd read in terms of how much it was playing with tone and genre, and that was a big part of wanting to do it.
Yeah. And what is going to make the tourist stand out to audiences, in your opinion, compared to other television on right now?
I just think like what I was saying there about like it's very easy to sit here to impress and say, oh, the script was like nothing I'd read before, and I probably said that and lied about stuff. But like, I really sincerely mean it with the tourist.
Yeah.
I mean, we have so much content now to watch, and we all watch so much television. Um, and sometimes it's quite predictable, but we talk about probably talk more about the stuff that isn't predictable, and the predictable stuff is the easy watch, and sometimes the sort of guilty pleasure watch.
Yeah.
But this just isn't that. I feel like it constantly asks questions of the audience
Mm.
and keeps them guessing. They don't always know what's happening, and if they think they know what's happening, they're usually wrong.
Yeah.
That's exciting. If you can, I feel that so far in the UK and Ireland and Australia and ever it's shown, we've maintained that excitement for 6 hours. So hopefully in America and North America, we can do that too, and the rest of the world. But it's I just think you're never comfortable in a way watching it, and
Yeah.
that's exciting. It's exhilarating.
Yeah. And I want to also ask you about bringing the man's dynamic with Helen to life. You and Danielle were just so fantastic together. Can you tell me about that?
I love her. She's just brilliant. She's so funny, and they have such a kooky, unexpected relationship. You know, um, and Danny's just like she's naturally funny. It's hard for us. I remember those early days, and I was talking to Danny yesterday about it, about like just not having a clue in those first couple of days, totally where to pitch it with. And she's suddenly coming in, she's like the first person being funny in it in a way,
Yeah.
and you are just a bit like, whoa, who's this? Like, what's going on here? And she just nailed it. She's just so you care about her so much. I think that you go on Helen's journey as much as you go on the man's journey. They're such an unlikely pair from when you first meet them to how close they are by the end, and um, yeah, we just had a real laugh together, and I'd you know I'd love the opportunity to do more with her if that comes along.
Definitely. And lastly, I want to ask you, what is one word to describe how you felt or your reaction when you initially read the scripts, and then one word to describe how you felt after you finished filming and wrapping that last scene?
Um, I think um, I was I was just like excited. Definitely would be the
Yeah.
first one, and exhausted would be the second one. I mean, truly, I've never been more exhausted at the end of a job. It was the longest job of my life. It was such a mental and physical toll playing that character,
Yeah.
and I've been out there in Australia for 5 months with my family, and yeah, it was like I couldn't believe it was finally over when we finished. But I was so emotional, and I made these unbelievable friends. But I'd also gone through a lot of stuff personally whilst out there, and it was a long old job. But if we hadn't got the reaction that we had so far, that would have been harder pill to swallow if I'd
Yeah.
gone through all that and nobody liked it. But luckily, we've been getting a lot of love, so it's made the whole thing much easier.
Yeah, I loved it. So I think you're going to get a lot of love here. And just thank you again for taking the time to speak with me. Huge congrats and hope to speak with you again soon.
Thanks a million. Thank you.
Hi, Danielle. Sophia Soda with the Nerds of Color. And first off, I want to say it's such a pleasure to speak with you. I absolutely loved your performance in this series.
Oh, thank you so much. Hi.
Of course, of course. And so, first off, I really loved your character. And I want to ask you, what was your favorite aspect of Helen's journey throughout the series without giving too much away?
Uh, I loved it. We kind of get to follow Helen finding herself, really finding her voice, finding her confidence, and just also still remaining who she is at her core while doing that. Because I think a lot of the time we feel super lost and kind of lose ourselves. And her mindset of, you know, really being such a positive person and really seeing the best in people and situations remains true, even while she's going on this crazy and sometimes hard journey to figure out who she is.
Yeah. And what do you think is going to make The Tourist stand out to audiences compared to other things on television right now?
I think that The Tourist is really different. Like it's very genre bending. You know, it's something very unique. You're gonna really feel the full spectrum of emotions. You're gonna laugh when you kind of least expect to, right? When something feels like it might get too heavy, we're like, no, it's okay. We're gonna let you laugh. And I think that that's really similar to life. You know, it's not all good, bad, or angry or upset. It's like we go through a full spectrum of emotions, and I think you really get to do that in this show, and I think that's fun. And there's so many twists and turns. Like it really is just a wild ride. It's a concise wild ride. You know, it's just 6 episodes, and it's fun. Like you kind of just breeze through it, honestly.
Yes, definitely do. I loved, the dynamic between Helen and the man. You and Jamie are fantastic together. Tell me about bringing that dynamic to life.
That was really fun. You know, we kind of got to play around a little bit, but so much was just discovered on set because they're meeting each other for the first time. So we really got to play with that, which was really fun. Yeah, it was just like it's sometimes awkward because they're awkward and they're like, and that ended up being really fun to play with. And then as they get to trust each other more, you know, we're also working together more, and that trust was there. And it was really kind of easy to just be able to slip into these characters and find their dynamic and the innate trust and friendship that they create really quickly. So that was really fun.
Yeah. And did you learn anything personally from either the series itself or your character that you feel like you took with you?
I feel like I always learn and grow every time I play a different character. Like every single time I learn something. And I think with this so much, I mean, this was the longest I've ever been on a project, and because we were there for 5 months, and I think the longest I've ever been on a project before is 3 months. So that was a whole new experience, and I was away from home, and I couldn't come back at all because of COVID, and no one could come visit me. My family did in Australia, but no one out here could, and it was definitely a whole new experience being away for that long, and that kind of independence, and also just fully learning to just let go and live in this life, and then you kind of go on to the next thing. And I don't really know how to specify what I learned, but I definitely did. I think I grew a lot during this time, and that's always really nice to kind of come off a project and feel like you've had also personal growth even though you were playing someone else. It's interesting.
Yeah. And lastly, I want to give you a little fun question. What word would you use to describe your initial reaction to reading the script and then to the point where you had your final scene that you had filmed? How did you feel with that?
uh Okay. When I first read the script, I think the first thing that went into my head was like, holy shit, holy crap, like what is happening? um, that was definitely the first thing to go through my head. And then finishing the last scene, like filming the last scene or reading the last scene?
Filming the last
Filming.
scene, when you had officially wrapped.
It was really sad. It was happy sad. Like it was amazing that we finally got into this place, like we'd finally been able to actually like finish this mammoth of a job. But it was also really sad because you create a lot of close friendships and you're like, wow, this is over. And that feels kind of crazy. There's a photo of Jamie and I actually when we wrapped, someone took a photo of us and we just both look a little like kind of teary-eyed. And it's just, I was like, oh, I'll always remember that feeling of just like, wow, this is kind of dumb, but it was a really amazing experience. And I'm kind of sad, but also like very grateful for it. Yeah.
Huge congrats on the project. And thank you so much again, Danielle, for taking the time.
Thank you. Bye.